Steve Harvey is the founder and CEO of Business Finders Canada. It's a commercial real estate brokerage that's rolling out right across the country. Steve's going to share with us the top 5 reasons why you should have a valuation. Steve, welcome to the program. Buyers of companies now, who are they? All these smaller companies, not the big, huge companies, but the what, 89%?
89%, yeah.
89% of companies in Canada are smaller, medium-sized enterprises. And you're the guy that helps them with the process of either buying or selling. So who's buying these companies?
You know, everybody and anybody is buying these companies. People come from all over Canada looking to buy businesses right now, in BC, where we're situated. And these people are, coming from Ontario, they're coming from Alberta, they're coming from within the province. And there's also immigration, a lot of immigration coming into the country as well. So
But who are they? Like, are they people that have owned their own businesses in the past mostly, or they come from the corporate world, or who are they?
So most of them come from the corporate world. Most buyers right now that are buying these small companies have never owned a company before. They're tired of the corporate world, and they see opportunity out there. There's a lot of people that also come in that are looking on the small to mid-sized companies for investment purposes. So they're looking at a company and going, you know what, I need to put my money somewhere. Where can I put the money where I have more control of it? I can put it into a business.
And you also, I guess, sell companies where the buyer may not necessarily be the full-time operator of the business as well. So that it can be on an investment type of basis.
Yeah, absolutely. We work with a number of different investment companies, a number of companies as well as individuals that are looking to buy businesses that, they need to have a certain, what I call EBITDA number that makes sense for them to be able to do that. You obviously can't go in and buy a small mom and pop business and be an investor in that sort of company.
So if I am watching this program right now and I'm interested, I'm thinking I would like to be an entrepreneur, and how do I start? I don't necessarily have to start my own company. I could contact Steve and say, hey, what do you got some businesses for sale?
Yeah, so the Business Finders Canada has several companies for sale at any given time, and we qualify those businesses. So even as a seller, just can't come to us and say, you know what, Steve, I'd like $2 million to retire from my business. Well,
Right.
You might need $2 million to retire. So we qualify that business, and if it's only worth 1.2, that's what we're prepared to take it to market for. So we pre-qualify the business and work with the seller, but then we also do that for the buyer. The buyer knows that we've pre-qualified that business, and then we qualify the buyer. So we have many buyers that come, or many buyers out there want to buy a business, but they don't know what they want.
Right. So, and I take it that most people have an idea of what type of business they want to buy, ideally something that interests them, but I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be.
No, in fact, it's the other way around. Most people don't know. I mean, they have some money, they want to buy a business, but they actually don't know what they want to buy. So we work with those buyers and focus them down into an area. For example, you're either interested in buying a restaurant or you're not.
Right.
Right. So when someone says, hey, I'm interested in anything, I've got, $500,000, which then probably qualifies them for something up to $1.5 million. You know what? Are you interested in a restaurant? Well, no, I'm actually not interested in a restaurant. I'm interested in retail, but I'm not interested in service. So we narrow that focus for them.
And we promised to tell people the top 5 reasons to have a valuation. What even is a valuation? I take it it's like people that own a house have an idea of what their house is worth. It's a little different with a business. It's a little bit more of a moving target. And of course, most people that own a house think their house is worth more than it actually is.
And for the most part, it's not that different from business owners. I mean, the business owner has a relationship with their business. They're close to it. It's their baby that maybe they've grown over the last 30 years. So, what is a valuation? Well, a definition of a valuation is, an estimate of something's worth. But in business, it's also an estimate of, what a reasonable buyer would pay for your business.
Well, at the end of the day, any valuation of anything comes down to what someone is prepared to pay. So I take it that there's some, in the larger business world, there's all these dynamics or ways of valuing a company. There's probably 30, 40 different ways to value a company. with a smaller business, it still boils down to primarily what type of profit, or as you said, EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, whatever, depreciation. It's usually the multiple of the profit. So if someone's got a profit of $500,000 a year, you know, round figures, 3 or 4 or 5 times that is theoretically the value of the business. But there's much more to it than that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's no scientific method in valuing a business. There are literally hundreds of ways, whether you're small or large, but there are really, you know, some basic, or, you know, maybe 5 ways that the industry, the banking system looks at it. And that's really what it comes down to, because most businesses, buyers are going to need financing.
Right.
The majority of them need financing, so you're going to have to put that financing through the bank. So you're going to have to look at it from also the bank size. So you've got ways like you've got your business market value, which is similar to what you'd see in the housing market. It's more of a comparison. You can.
What have other businesses like this sold for recently? Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
one.
You've got, you know, your what's called seller's discretionary earnings, or you've maybe heard the term recasting of financials. And that's where you take the, you know, the net profit and you add things back that, you know, go back to the owner, like the owner's wages,
Right.
amortization, which we talked about,
Depreciation.
which is really just depreciation of assets. You don't write a check for depreciation. It's just a taxable benefit that you get. Interest on long-term debt as well gets added back in that EBITDA formula or in seller's discretionary earnings.
So what are the top 5 reasons to have a valuation?
Well, one, everybody thinks that, you know, the first reason is because you want to sell your business. So that's one reason. 2, you want to understand the process that's involved. And so going through that process of knowing what your business, you know, understanding where the numbers come from is really, really important. You need to understand, you know, the landscape of your business, you know, what your competitors are doing, the direction that you're going. And, you know, the biggest reason is understanding the financial conditions of your business, because, you know, a valuation will tell you where your business has been, where you're at today, and, you know, most importantly, where you're going in the future.
Awesome, Steve. It's great to know there is a service for such an important part of the economy. Thanks for joining us today, Steve.
Yeah, thank you.
Real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to